Hello friends, in this video I am going to show you how to create automatic table of contents for our research project. But before going to creating table of contents, let us see the general structure of the document first. The first page generally starts with the title where we have the title of our thesis written, the name of the university where the thesis is submitted and the course to which the thesis is created for. Second page is generally dedicated to acknowledgements where we acknowledge the efforts or guidance given by various guides. Third page is for table of contents. Next is list of figures. Next list of tables, abstract, and then we have various chapters. The sequence of these pages might change a bit from the university or from the institution to institution. However, this is a general structure of any research project. Now let us see that before we start with the table of contents, we have to understand or we have to decide from which page do we have to start our page number 1. Generally, it is seen that the page number 1 starts from the page where we have chapter number 1. Okay, so all the earlier pages will not have any page number, but we want the page number starting from this page, that is chapter number 1. So how to do that? So first we have to take the cursor before chapter number 1 and then just press backspace so that we take this chapter to the previous page. Now here what we have to do, we have to go to page layout and then in breaks column you will see this tab called next page where the description says that insert a section break and start a new section on the next page. Okay, so from here you are going to start with a new section. So you will see that the chapter 1 has gone to the new page and abstract has remained in the earlier page. How to check whether a new section has been inserted or not? You can start activating header. Okay, how to activate header? Go here at the top of the top margin of the page and then double click. As soon as you double click, you will see that this page will show footer of section number 1 and this page will show header of section number 2. That means from here section number 2 is starting. Also, if you see the footer of this page, even the header of this page, you will see one tab called same as previous. Okay, when you see this button called same as previous, that means though there are two sections created, these sections are still connected to each other. These are linked to each other. So first of all, we have to disassociate these two sections. Yes, so even if you go to the footer section, you will see that the footer section 2 is same as previous. So you don't have to do the same as previous. How to close this? So click here in the footer section and then you will see this button called link to previous. You have to close this link to previous. This is activated right now. You have to close this. So just you, as soon as you close this, you will see that the link to previous is gone. Okay, it no more appears here. So now these two sections will be considered as separate sections. Now you want to start your page number from this page. Yes, so insert page, bottom of the page, sorry, insert page number, bottom of the page, and then go to the last option which shows page number 1. And then you can close this footer. Now you will see that page number 1 starts from the page where you have chapter number 1, whereas earlier pages you don't have any page numbers appearing. Now let us go to the next part. Next part is when you are creating a table of content, it is very important that we format our document properly. What do you mean by formatting? Formatting itself means that you are telling MS Word what is your heading, what is your subheading, and what are your headings into that subheading. Yes, so MS Word has a different kind of nomenclature given. MS Word says that your chapter heading can be considered as heading 1, your subheadings can be considered as heading 2, and so on. Yes, heading 2, and then any heading inside that subheading becomes heading 3 and heading 4 and so on. Yes, so now let us say, now in this case chapter number 1, introduction, is our heading 1. If you want to format this separately, how you can do? You can just right click here, modify, and then you can modify the font. That is, let us say if you want this as Times New Roman, and the chapter heading if you want it on 18. If you want bold, you can just make it bold, and you can just make it center aligned also. Yes, so as soon as you click here, now this entire line is your chapter heading. Yes, so select entire line and then click on heading 1. So this has become your chapter 1. Now these points are your heading 2. Yes, because these points are sub points into chapter 1. So you can again format them as heading 2. If you want this also into Times New Roman, you can just go to modify, Times New Roman, subheadings can be 14, that is okay, bold, and then you can click OK. Once you click OK, you have formatted that. Now you just have to select this and click on this button, which will make those as heading number 2. So this is your heading number 1, this is your heading number 2. Now you want some bullet points given to this. So this is, since this is chapter number 1, you want this to be called as 1.1. Okay, so what you can do, you can just insert these, and then you can change the level. Yes, you can change the level, and then you have got it 1.1, 1.2 and all. Yes, same applies to chapter 2 and the subheadings into chapter 2 and subheadings into chapter 3 also. But before that, there is one very simple way of knowing whether the steps that we are following are correct or wrong. Yes, how to do that? You can go to view and then just click on navigation pane. As soon as you see you click on navigation pane, this navigation box will appear, and here you will see that chapter 1 introduction and all the 5 points are appearing below that. Now since chapter 2 you have not formatted still, it is not appearing here. As soon as you click chapter 2 and then give it as heading 1, okay, you go to home tab again and then you click here on heading 1. Immediately you will see that chapter 2 also starts appearing here. Yes, similarly, when you select all of these points and then you click heading 2, all of these points come here. But along with that, you will also see that there is one blank space that is appearing here. So this is that blank space. Now this blank space is not your heading actually. So what you can do, you can go to you can just click on normal. Yes, so that blank space is not recognized as heading. Now you want to give numbers to these three also. Now these three becomes 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. How do you do it? Click here, change its level. This is already selected. You can just go to change level. Now this is 1.1, again 1.1. You want 2.1. So you can go to set numbering value, continue from previous list, advanced value, skip number. So you have to set different numbers altogether. So this is 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Now you will see in the navigation box also. Yes. Similar things you can do for chapter 3. Chapter 3 becomes your heading 1. These become your heading 2. Similarly, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, summary, scope of research, not summary and scope of research. Okay, so all the chapter headings become your, just press control and keep on selecting, and then press heading 1. So all of these become heading 1. These, you can select all these things and then select heading 2. All these become heading 2. Now you just have to give the numbers. Yes, you can select anywhere here, double click on format painter, then you can change the number anytime. Okay, you can change these numbers anytime. Key finding, then press escape. Once it is done, you can press escape. Now you have to change these numbers. This is your 2.1, that is correct. Here you want 3.1, so here you can again go here, set numbering value, continue from previous list, and then this becomes 3.1. Okay, here you want 4.1, set numbering value, continue, 4.1. This is your 5.1, set numbering value, 5.1. This is your 6.1, set numbering value, continue, 6.1. So now you have all your points ready, and which you can see here also in the navigation document also. Now you want to insert the table of contents. Yes, with page numbers. Of course, with page numbers. The most important part is page numbers. That is the reason why we are creating this table of contents. Yes, how to do that? Go to table of contents, go to references, and select this table of contents automatic. This is automatically created. Now you will see that chapter number 1 and all the subpoints are appearing here along with page numbers. Now whenever you update anything into this, yes, so let us say now you are working on your document. You want your chapter number 2 to start from a new page. So what do? You press here and then either you go to insert and then page break. Either you do this or you can just click here before chapter number 2 and press control and enter, control plus enter. Okay. Similarly, chapter number 3, control plus enter. Chapter number 4, control plus enter. Chapter 5, control plus enter. And chapter 6, control plus enter. Now you know bibliography and annexures are also headings, but these are not probably, you might call them as chapter heading also, or you might give a separate heading by giving a different kind of title or something, subtitle. There are multiple options into it. Yes, there are multiple options, but generally these are considered to be separate chapters, and that is the reason we are treating it as heading. So bibliography again starts on a new page, and annexures also start on a new page. Annexures, you might be having your questionnaire in your annexures, or probably some permission letters, or something else which is related to your thesis. Yes, now you are working on this page, and all of a sudden you remember that you have to add something in 2.1 past research. Yes, now instead of scrolling all the way, what you can do, you can just click here in navigation pane 2.1 so that you directly go to that point of 2.1. This is the benefit of using this navigation bar. Yes, navigation toolbar. So 2.1, if you want to add something here, what you can do, So I'll also show you one more very interesting function of MS Word of creating random text. Yes. So let us say equal to RAND, that is random. Yes. And then you open and close the bracket. And then once you press enter, you will see that some random text has been generated by Word itself. Yes. You can also standardize this. For example, I'll do it in paragraph number 2.2. If you want random text, but you want only two paragraphs of 5 lines each, two paragraphs of 5 lines each. So this is the way how you have to put it. And then once you press enter, you will see that there are two paragraphs of 5 lines each. This content will not necessarily, will not be uh, uh, relevant to your research topic naturally. Yes, because this is random text which is generated by MS Word. So let us say you have created some random, or you have inserted some information here. Okay, you have inserted some information on every point, in every point. So I press research design and then I don't club. Yes, so I after making the index, I have updated, I have written a lot of things into it. And now the question comes of updating the page numbers. Yes, if this table was not made automatic, yes, what would have happened? You would have actually gone to every point, checked what is the page number. So for example, 2.1 is appearing on page number 2, and then you go up and then you update it. Yes, this becomes very tiresome activity when you are actually doing your work on thesis. And then when you are working on a PhD thesis, there are thousands of changes that are happening into the PhD thesis almost every day. Yes, and then it becomes practically impossible to update page numbers on daily basis. Yes, because that itself takes a lot of time, and then you start getting fatigue of doing this work. Yes, so if you see this document now, it will look similar to some research paper, right? So to make it more interesting, I'll just select everything and then probably modify, and then I make it okay. So all that is normal, that has automatically become justified. Yes, that has automatically become justified. And now I can put the page borders also. Yes, go to page layout and then yes, you can put the page borders also. Sorry, it is into design, and then you go to page borders and then box. So now this has all of a sudden started looking like a research project. Now what to do with these page numbers? It is very easy to update the page numbers. You just have to click anywhere into this box and then click here update table, update entire table. Okay. As soon as you have updated, you will see that the page numbers have got updated. Imagine a point that this half work is done and now you want to add something into it. Okay, so let us say past research. In this past research you have to add something. So 2.1 you have clicked here, and then in 2.1 probably you have some more points into it. Yes, so let us say you have 2.1.1, so a sub point into this point. Yes, so past research related to perception, and then you have some more past research related to satisfaction, and so on. Yes, so these two become your sub points into this point. How to do this? And you know that this point is already formatted as heading 2, right? This is already formatted as heading 2. Now this becomes your heading 3 because this point is sub point into this point, and that is the reason what you can do. You can select this and click it as heading 3. You want this into Times New Roman, go to modify, select Times New Roman, 12 font is okay, bold is okay, and click OK. Heading 3. You want to have bullet points 2.1.1, click here, set numbering value. Sorry, you have to first change its level, right? Change level. This is the level. 2.1.1, 2.1.2. Done. Now you will see that the navigation bar also shows 2.1 and then 2.1.1 and 2.1.2. But it is not updated into the table of contents. How to update? Just click here, update table, update entire table, and OK. As soon as you click OK, you will see that 2.1 has started appearing and all the further page numbers have changed. Yes, everything has got updated. So this easy it is to create the table of contents and to make your document very user friendly. This will help you to have a bird's eye view on your document, and you will be able to work on a smaller part of document. Yes, you can just minimize all the chapters from here. Yes, it becomes very easy so that there are no changes happening. Yes, you can just go to chapter number 1 and then you can just click here and then the entire chapter is minimized. Yes, so that there is no typing error into it or by mistake also you don't delete everything. Whenever you want to work on chapter number 1, you can again open it. So this is how you have opened the chapter 1. This is how you can close this chapter. You can close this chapter 2, close this chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. So you have closed everything. If you want to work only in chapter 2, just open chapter 2. That's it. And then you can start working in chapter 2. This makes it even more easier, and it saves a lot of time of scrolling also. Yes, I hope you have liked this video, and thanks a lot for seeing this video patiently. And if you are interested to know more about this, then you can definitely contact me. I'm giving my number here. My name is Ravi Phadke and my number is, and this is from India. Thank you. Thank you very much.